Cesc Fabregas in a 3-4-3 formation for Pep Guardiola and the champions, one that we're likely to see more often than not for matches here at the Camp Nou this season. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out tactically. There was rumours that we're going to go with this lineup to combat those who come here with more defensive tactics. I think they're facing a side tonight in Villareal, Terry, who really don't know what it's about to defend anywhere, because the onus for them will to be bold, play their normal game and attack if they can.
Yep, and try, if at all possible, to try and match Barcelona when it comes to possession. When we talk about a 3-4-3 formation, there will be three defenders, but there'll be more than three lines of tactical play for Barcelona.
Who attack now with Pedro, who started off on the left of the front three with Alexis Sanchez on the right, Messi down the middle. Of course, that can be a fluid front three, as we're well used to seeing now. Villareal with a couple of changes from their win in the Champions League playoff against the Danes. Odense, Camuñas and Senna dropped to the bench. In come Gonzalo and Marchena. Barcelona's starting 11 is 4 changes from the European Super Cup win in Monaco last Friday against Porto. Busquets, Thiago, Fabregas and Sanchez come in. Alves, who's suspended, Adriano, Xavi and Villa are the other players to make way. Adriano's also injured. Xavi and Villa amongst the substitutes. This is Messi, already 4 goals so far this season in 3 games. Very much picking up from where he left off last season, that amazing haul of 53. Here's Pedro. Borja Valero back here with Diego Lopez. Pep Guardiola says he keeps asking questions of these players and they keep finding the right answers. Wonders whether they can maintain their desire and hunger. You bet they're well up for matching the dream team's 4 successive La Liga titles in the early 90s. This is Keita. Pedro looks to take on the Colombian. Zapata, one of the new faces in the Villareal side this season. Gonzalo, who got it away, the captain. Iniesta. Abidal is playing on the left of the back three. Busquets in the middle. Certainly these world-class players showing how versatile they are. Guardiola without 5 defenders. Puyol, Piqué, Alves, Maxwell, Adriano.
Well, it works out the formation, it's not 3-4-3, it is 3 defenders. Keita playing just in front. And then it's actually 3-1-3-3. When you look at the quality of the essentially 6 attacking players, Pedro, Messi and Sanchez up front, behind them attacking midfield roles, Iniesta, Cesc Fabregas and Thiago. Keita playing slightly deeper in front of that 3-man defence, which in my opinion is 1 more defender than they normally have. They just have the 2, don't they? Both the fullbacks push on, so it's different. It's a different type of tactics forced upon Pep Guardiola through a lack of defenders available to him. But it's all about possession, keeping the ball for Barcelona, playing in the attacking half of the pitch. So I don't expect a drastic change in their style of play.
Here's the Chilean on his La Liga debut, Alexis Sanchez. Big money buy in the close season from Udinese. Barcelona paid 26 million euros for Sanchez, got him at a good age, 22, and they feel there's a lot more to come yet. Abidal. Villareal come here though in buoyant mood after overturning a 1-0 deficit from the first leg of their Champions League playoff against Odense. Maintained their strong El Madrigal form, and 2 Giuseppe Rossi goals and 1 from Marchena gave them a 3-0 win in the return. Certainly been drawn in a tough-looking group. Villareal with Manchester City, Bayern Munich and Napoli. This is Mascherano. Messi poking it forward towards Fabregas. This is Zapata. Lost out there to Keita, taken on here by Pedro. Shuffled on here towards Messi. Works it wide here for Sanchez. Safely pouched by Diego Lopez.
I think Villareal slightly lucky there. Deflection from the shot from Sanchez went straight to Diego Lopez.
Fabregas couldn't pick out Messi. Away by Bruno. It's a good ball as well. Picks out Kenny. In steps Busquets. Sanchez. Thiago for Iniesta. Pedro. Iniesta did so well to protect the ball away from Marchena. He's earned a corner. Just another example of a Barcelona player. As we look at that, good control there from Messi. It's a shot coming in from Alexis Sanchez. There's the deflection Terry alluded to from Oriol. But just an example there of Iniesta. He couldn't have been more tightly marked when he received that pass, but turned away into space. And so adept at doing that. Oh, and that was awkward for Lopez. Still awkward in there for Villareal. Hooked back across by Busquets. This is Iniesta. Pedro, flag stayed down. Villareal players looking to the assistant on the far side. That was a chance for Pedro.
It's a chance for Pedro, and even better one, I think, for Abidal from the corner. Gets in front of Diego Lopez. Does enough to put the goalkeeper off. Makes a real hash of dealing with his punched clearance. Busquets little slight rush of blood there. As the touch of his head just thunders it across the goal. No one was going to get on the end of that. And again, Pedro with a header from the cross that was recycled back into the box. A couple of good chances for Barcelona in the early stages.
Thiago, Iniesta. 2 trophies already to add to an already bulging Barcelona cabinet in terms of the Spanish Super Cup and the European Super Cup. Offside against Pedro. Cesc Fabregas has played 2 games for Barcelona and won 2 trophies.
He's not going to win one tonight, that's for sure. We talked about the 3 at the back. Mascherano and Abidal are still stepping into midfield, so they're quite content. I talked about them normally only having 2 defenders. They're quite content tonight just to let Busquets stay there on his own. But that can be exploited by the quality and pace of Villareal with Nilmar and Rossi. The problem is they have to get the ball.
Terry, there were times here last season they could have put 4 cardboard cutouts at the back, played with a forward 6 and goalkeeper Valdez, and they would have won. Such was their imperious form.
They're playing a decent team tonight though, Kevin, and
yeah,
they
absolutely
have to get their tactics right.
Yes, you're right. This is Messi. Good run here by Fabregas. Deflected behind by Musacchio. Had to make a telling interception there. Fabregas looking to set it up on a plate for the opening goal. Just ghosted into space there. That was worrying for Villareal. Mascherano.
There's no doubt Fabregas is going to enjoy the amount of possession that Barcelona have in the attacking half of the pitch, and he's very adept at making those forwards runs from midfield unnoticed. Saw him on Friday, didn't we? The second goal against Porto, an outstanding finish, which was made possible by a brilliant run from midfield. Of course, helps when Lionel Messi's your teammate. If you've got a fair chance, he's going to find you. And that's something I think that will add to Barcelona's team this year. More goals from midfield. As Fabregas looks to get forward at every opportunity.
Well, people were wondering where Cesc Fabregas was going to get into this team. I think you've seen an early answer in Guardiola's formation here. Sanchez. Appeals for handball. Referee had a good view. To the Enzo Alvarez. Said no. Borja Valero coming under pressure there. And here's Andres Iniesta. But if they are going to play this 3-1-3-3, if you like, with Keita tonight at least at the base of a diamond, Fabregas at the tip of it, Thiago and Iniesta either side, where do you fit Dani Alves into that?
Just don't confuse Dani Alves. Just tell him you're still playing a back four and he's playing right back, and just let him work right up and down the right flank.
He just plays where he wants to play anyway.
Free spirit. Certainly won't confuse him tactically by telling him we've changed formation.
Well, we never call him a right back anyway, and actually internationally he doesn't play right back because Maicon's the first choice there. He plays further forward when he does start for Brazil. Well, Messi was expecting a Barcelona throw there, had a rather long lingering look at the assistant.
And at long last, Villareal have possession. it's been so one-sided, and Villareal were outside of Barcelona and Real Madrid. They're the team that do enjoy great spells of possession. It's what their game is all about. But every time they've had it tonight, Barcelona, as usual, have worked really hard to get it back as quickly as possible. As yet, I don't think Neymar and Rossi have been involved in the game whatsoever.
Pedro. One or two of the squad players were let go by Barcelona in the summer. So a ball that almost picked out the run of Iniesta. It was a good header in the end by Gonzalo, who's got work to do again. So too the goalkeeper, Diego Lopez, just getting there ahead of Messi. But there will be room to rotate for Guardiola. Certainly brought in two high-quality players in Alexis Sanchez and Fabregas. Could even afford to rest Xavi at the start of the season to the bench tonight. Got a little quiz question for you early on in this La Liga season. See if you can guess which Barcelona player made the most league appearances last season. I'll leave that one with you for a few minutes. This is Marchena. Bruno, who's improved immensely in the Villareal midfield over the last 18 months or so. He's called up to the Spain squad in the summer, along with his Villareal teammate Borja Valero, who's made his move from West Bromwich Albion permanent in the summer. He was on loan at Villareal last season. Has a big responsibility, I think, Terry, Borja Valero. Now Santi Cazorla's gone.
He certainly has. But this is better from Villareal. More akin to what we usually see from the team in yellow. Quality players abound. They will miss Cazorla, and you're quite right, Borja Valero. Had an excellent season last year, going to take on more responsibility. Cani is a good player as well. Marcos Senna on the bench, but Bruno has been, the last couple of years, one of the most improved players in the Primera Division.
Oh, there was finally a touch there for the Brazilian Neymar. I don't think Rossi has had a touch yet in 14 first half minutes. Certainly Villareal are happy to hang on to the Italian international Giuseppe Rossi. There's been speculation for some time, even during the second half of last season, that he'd be moving from El Madrigal, but the man who got 28 goals last season has stayed. In fact, I do him a disservice, he got 32 in all competitions, 18 in the league. It was his best ever return. Given the service here tonight, if they can get enough of the ball, there's no question that Garrido's front two of Neilmar and Rossi can be a genuine threat. Free kick against Keita. Offside against Rossi. Scored twice in that 3-0 win against Odense, looked very sharp.
Just went too early. Neilmar was in an offside position as well on the opposite side of the pitch. But they're going to have to be patient, the two strikers. They know their team are going to be done in terms of possession. But on the odd occasion, Villareal do get the ball forward with quality to those two strikers. It's important that they're alert. They're both sharp, they're both quick. And they will believe they can cause this back three of Barcelona some problems.
Mascherano has been turning in some superb performances in the Barcelona defence already this season, and of course for spells towards the end of last season. And of course Puyol, who's been out for some considerable time with a knee problem, should be back in mid-September, we hear. This is Pedro. Clever run that from Messi! Well, Gonzalo just didn't see Messi ghosting in behind him there. Decent save at his near post by Diego Lopez.
Well, I think he might have seen him, Kevin, but there's not a lot he could have done about it. Messi actually got his shoulder out, didn't he? Held off Gonzalo. Some good combination of passing between Pedro and Messi.
Messi's corner. Header's a good one. And he was really unlucky there. Sergio Busquets skimmed off the top of the crossbar. Lopez was beaten.
I'm rather surprised, I have to say, that Barcelona are causing Villareal problems from set pieces, from corners. Busquets was really unmarked, totally unmarked there. Pedro to Messi, look, holds off Gonzalo. Cracks a shot with his left foot towards the near post. Has to go with power. He's never going to be able to find the angle across to the far post. Diego Lopez moves smartly down to his right to keep the ball out.
Referee quick to stamp on the challenge from Marchena.
He's been trying to keep a lid on his frustrations, I think, in 17 minutes. And he's been doing a lot of running around, a lot of closing down without really getting near the ball.
Lionel Messi. Little wink. Ups with something up his sleeve rather than a direct shot at goal. Let's see. Pedro hanging out really wide left, as you can see there. Fabregas on the premises as well, but it will be Messi! Just enough distance from goal to mean that Diego Lopez had time to get across.
Slightly ambitious against the goalkeeper of Diego Lopez's quality. Plenty of time for the keeper to see the shot from Messi.
There we are, 7 attempts already from Barcelona. Villareal yet to trouble Victor Valdez. Iniesta. And Messi made an initial run, then stopped because he didn't think the pass was coming. That's what Villareal can ill afford to do when they've got the ball in the hands of their goalkeeper, just to punt the ball out of play, because it can take a while to get it back. Here's another good run from Iniesta.
Well, they're coming in flying at all angles from midfield. Fabregas, Iniesta looking to get forward.
And here's this now familiar press Barcelona so bold in the approach. You've got to have the right characteristics in the individual players to play the way they do, and you've also got to be super fit.
Zapata there with a handball.
Referee with the book out for the first time, Christian Zapata, the Colombian, was a teammate of Alexis Sanchez last season at Udinese. Just about managed to squeeze that away from Pedro. This is Iniesta. Abidal. Messi. Iniesta. Now Sanchez. Pedro making these darting runs, and Villareal are struggling to cover them.
Communication is so important for Villareal tonight, because the rotation of positions by the Barcelona players means that they all have to be vigilant, particularly the four defenders. They have to communicate with their centre midfield players. That's a narrow midfield tonight for Villareal, no real width. Just for me, I think that Villareal once or twice have had the opportunity to spin it in behind the back three of Barcelona.
Oh, that's a poor challenge by Cani on Messi. That really was untidy. Unfortunate, I think, not to pick up a yellow card there. A similar distance from the Villareal goal. They don't try a shot this time. Look how far forward here Busquets is. One of the back three, nominally. This is Messi. Fabregas! Oh, he didn't get there. Gonzalo had stretched. And that was an important toe there from the Villareal skipper.
Good credit, don't we, to attacking players, and they're dribbling past defenders, rattling shots in past the goalkeeper. That's a world-class clearance from Gonzalo. Not the quickest of the players, but he sees danger. Then we see a bad challenge from Cani on Messi, who just thankfully picks himself up and gets on with the game.
In comes the corner, and Abidal sniffing at the near post again. The one to the corner, isn't getting it.
It skims off Abidal's head, then clearly comes off Diego Lopez.
Oh, got a bit lucky there. Try and play out from the back against Barcelona, risky. This is Villareal's game. As Terry said, they're accustomed to playing a passing game. Camp Nou, wonderful sight. Holds just short of 100,000.
Is that the first time Valdez has touched it? I can't recollect him touching the ball either with his feet or the hands.
It may have something to do here. This is Borja Valero as Villareal threatened for the first time. And a slip there from Valero. Made the defending comfortable for Abidal. Nice touch from Pedro. Iniesta. Here's Messi. Sanchez to his right. Only Fabregas in the penalty area at the moment. Bruno. Well, there's the man who made the most league appearances for Barcelona last season. Might surprise you, Seydou Keita. I think he played something like 60 of the 62 games. It was under the radar a little bit with some of the bigger names perhaps, but not with Guardiola. He respects him totally, and that's why he played so many times last season.
And trusts him totally as well, doesn't he?
They're finding gaps here again. Shots on! Goal for Thiago! 4 goals in pre-season. Announced himself no longer a B-team player. He'll be playing his fair share of senior games this season. Thiago Alcantara with the opening goal of the champions' defence of their title.
You see Diego Lopez there, outstretched arms, asking exactly what was going on in front of him. Far too much time allowed to the Barcelona midfield players. It's harder than it looks though. You see the 2 midfield players there, Marchena and Bruno. A little inquest going on at why one of them didn't stop him. He's looking for a pass, and as he's closed down he thinks, you know what, I'm right on the edge of the box here, I'll just guide this towards the bottom corner with my left foot. Diego Lopez can't get across. It's an accurate finish from Thiago. It's a great little run from midfield. Guardiola would be delighted not only with a 1-0 lead, he loved the fact that it's one of the youngsters again that got into his team and scored the goal.
Now here come Villareal. It's a superb pass to pick out Rossi! Side netting only, struck it really well. And he got away from Mascherano.
It's exactly what Villareal have to do. They've responded well. Spin it down the channel, spin it down the side for Rossi and Nilmar to make runs in behind that back 3. Test them. Instead they're going to have to be patient. They're not going to get loads and loads of service. And I think it's been ample times in midfield for Villareal where they tried the little short passing, which is their normal game. But I think they've had opportunities to slide it into the space and make the likes of Mascherano and Abidal, Busquets run back towards their own goal.
Finally taken goal by 20-year-old Thiago, who's the star of the Spanish under-21 side that won the European Championships this summer. Here's Messi. Fabregas. Lucky again for Messi. Unlucky. It's very interesting though when Victor Valdés had that goal kick, the way Villareal set up. Borja Valero went into the centre-forward position, the 2 strikers split wide, and it forced Valdés to kick the ball long and out of touch. It's a good tactic from Villareal. Gonzalo unable to find his goalkeeper. More pressure here on the away side. Messi's corner, Fabregas. Deflected away for another corner. Well, he finally got his wish to return home, says Fabregas. And is slotted very smoothly, as we expected, into this Barcelona machine.
I'm not sure he's taking a blow there or holds in the hamstring area, holds in the calf. That would be cause for concern, although Senna's on the bench. Would be an ideal replacement for Bruno.
Played in all but 4 of Villarreal's 60 games last season, Bruno Soriano.
Now he's holding his tie. He's got the full collection. Rossi there. They're the runs he'll make. Had the beating in terms of pace. All 3 defenders for Barcelona.
Iniesta. Kenny. Back to him via Nilmar. It'll be too long for Rossi. Marchena. Valero. Villareal will look to get Bruno back on shortly. He's still limping a little bit on that touchline. This is Fabregas. Asking too much there, I think. If the goalkeeper stayed there. Diego Lopez, which made it a little awkward for Musacchio.
He had the backspin on the pass from Fabregas, Kevin, that's what it was.
This is Pedro. Beautifully outfoxes Zapata. Sanchez. No way through for Fabregas. He's won it back off Musacchio. Messi. Almost slid that through to Iniesta.
Blue and red shirts just swarming all over the place around the edge of that 18-yard box. It's attack versus defence, isn't it, in one half of the pitch?
The usual dominance of possession, a myriad of patterns being weaved around this Camp Nou pitch. Marchena on Messi. Little rueful look for Lionel Messi, saying how many more of those, ref? Got a bit of previous, Carlos Marchena.
I don't think it was a surprise to Messi, was it, when he looked up and saw it was Marchena?
Iniesta, Pedro. It's well blocked by Zapata, who's got his hands full with a lightning quick Pedro this evening. Diego Lopez, already a very, very busy goalkeeper. Cesc Fabregas with the corner. And once again, it's Abidal who's taken up that near post position. That's 3 times they've almost picked him out now.
So Villareal can he afford to give the ball away as carelessly as Carney did there? That's when he had the opportunity to get it into the 2 strikers.
Here's the goal scorer, Thiago, sloppy, picked up by Marchena. Borja Valero, the better there of Abidal. Opportunity here for Rossi. Cross came Mascherano, back in by Borja Valero, and Neilmar denied by Thiago. It's excellent defending. Canny. Oriol for Bruno. Musacchio. Neilmar. Musacchio back again to Neilmar. Musacchio's continued his run. The whistle's gone. Well, Villareal unhappy with the referee there, Turienzo Alvarez, who blew rather early then. Musacchio was running clear of the Barcelona defence.
He blew too quick, in my opinion. There is a free kick, there is a foul, but the ball spilled into the path of Musacchio.
Well, they felt hard done to there, Villareal. Yellow card for Mascherano.
I expect to see Valdez worked here. I expect it to be Giuseppe Rossi.
Landmark appearance for the Barcelona goalkeeper tonight, 410th game. Draws him level with the club's current sporting director, the former great goalkeeper Andoni Zubizarreta. Rossi or Valero, both capable. Referee with another card out there. Looks like Sergio Busquets. Maybe Fabregas. Certainly was unhappy with something in that wall. Marchena just trying to unsettle things again.
He's upset 5 players there. Only he can.
It's Borja Valero. Zapata. Offside before the ball reached Neilmar.
the ball back into the box. There's actually 3 Villareal players in offside positions. Good block by the wall there. Sadio Keita gets his head to it.
Iniesta. Thiago furthest forward here for Barcelona. He's done well to rob Oriol. Here's Alexis Sanchez. Terrific pace. Trying to cut it back for Messi and stabbed away by Gonzalo Rodriguez.
He switched on the turbo there, didn't he, Sanchez? Such a short distance and he covered it so quickly.
Just been lacking a bit of pace up front, Barcelona, haven't they? Here's Keita. Abidal. Fabregas. Messi. Blink of an eye away from Borja Valero. Massive yellow shirts to meet him. Held up well here by Neilmar. Referee wants the free kick taken from the right position.
Who's going to make the point? There already appears to be a really good understanding between Messi and Fabregas. They swap positions at times, but then I realised that they played together from, I think, 12 years of age to 15 years of age. So they've just switched back, gone back 8, 9, 10 years to, you know, playing as children here at Barcelona. But it's a really important point to make. Messi likes to drop deep, get the ball to feet. Fabregas takes his position at centre forward.
Oh, it's a chance for Rossi. Lucky deflection. Great save from Valdez. That's absolutely brilliant from Victor Valdez. Well, it maybe wouldn't have counted anyway. Well, let's have a look again. We will shortly at what was a truly outstanding save to deny Rossi.
Just creeping back into the game since conceding a goal. Couple of efforts, couple of attempts at goal. Well, they're certainly more busy than he was in the opening 25 minutes.
Keita. Abidal. Busquets. Iniesta. Fabregas, I think, would have been offside if the ball had travelled through. Messi. No way through there. Helped on by Rossi. Comfortable for Keita.
Senna going through his paces, Kevin on the touchline. Just wonder if Bruno hasn't shaken off, been able to shake off that knock.
Messi. Iniesta. Now Pedro. Impishly done by Messi. This is Iniesta. Each pass in that forward movement, the roars went louder and louder. Looked onside there, didn't he, Rossi?
Yeah, initially when the ball was played in, before it got the deflection, he was in slightly leaning towards an offside position.
Well, the flag did go up against him. It doesn't take anything away from the brilliance of the Valdez save. He saw no flag.
It was a breathtaking save, in fact, to react as he did after he hit the crossbar.
Fabregas, bundled over by Borja Valero. There's Thiago. Pedro. Struck fiercely by Iniesta, ricochets away off Gonzalo. And Villareal have done well to keep this down to 1-0. Barcelona, even under the watch of Pep Guardiola, have had a tendency at times to start slowly. I remember when he took over as head coach, he lost the opening game of the season at the then newly promoted Numancia. I think there was a follow-up draw here, and people were questioning the wisdom of appointing Pep Guardiola as head coach. It actually happened, Terry, remember?
They were.
Unbelievable. "12 trophies under Guardiola and a little over 3 seasons. He's already surpassed the record of Johan Cruyff.
It's 12 from 15 possible, isn't it? Which is an astounding total. We were talking earlier, Pedro and Busquets, their first 3 years senior professional football, have won 12 trophies.
I mean, a lot of these players we're watching here have become some of the most decorated in football history almost overnight. You factor in the Spanish internationals in this squad, European champions, world champions, and all that's coming their way now at club level. Astonishing. Kenny.
We see the work ethic though. Look, it's Sanchez back there in the right back position. We see Thiago clear one earlier in his own 18-yard box. He was the last defender back. Keita is playing in more of a holding role, but it's not unusual to see him being the last defender. They just show urgency, don't they, and commitment to get back, to make sure their team keep a clean sheet, because they know they've got goals in them. That goes without saying. But they're really determined not to allow teams opportunities on goal. It's possible not to have Victor Valdez work too much.
Iniesta making inroads into that Villareal defence again. Sanchez trying to feed Andres Iniesta again. It's a corner.
I think at times, Kevin, they're guilty, Barcelona, tonight, of all making that forwards run. There's been a couple of occasions, that incident there, if someone had just held their run on the edge of the box, and Sanchez just can cut it back. But we saw Fabregas, Messi and Iniesta all making that forward run, all getting into the 6-yard box. If one of them stood still on the edge of the box, Sanchez rolls it back and then have a clear shot and goal.
It's turned away, he didn't know much about that, saw it late, Musacchio. Young Argentine centre-back making strides in La Liga. He played 52 games last season, only turned 21 last Friday.
He's going to be a good player, Kevin. Had a great start to his career.
Glorious control there from Messi. It's the goal scorer, Thiago. Zapata got there ahead of Pedro. And a little push there from Abidal. Didn't look more than a little push on Borja Valero, but he's feeling an injury in the small of his back as we head towards half-time.
Credit to Villareal, they've dug in there, haven't they?
Yep.
All plaudits for the Barcelona performance in the first half, but the game is still very much in the balance. Only the 1 goal so far.
Clever pass, brilliant run from Fabregas. 2-0. Lionel Messi with the assist. Exactly what Terry was talking about earlier. With Messi dropped steep, Fabregas becomes the focal point of the attack. Total football, total brilliance.
I spoke just too soon, didn't I, for Juan Carlos Garrido on his side. It's a fair reflection of the play, isn't it? A 2-0 scoreline. But it's so difficult for the Villareal defenders. It's been non-stop pressure for the whole first half. And you see Messi drop deep. Fantastic run from Fabregas. Fantastic spot from Lionel Messi. And the technique and skill level from both players. Perfectly weighted pass. Great little touch around Diego Lopez from Cesc Fabregas. Rolls it towards the empty net, the unguarded net. Much to delight of Dani Alves.
Well, so many of those slide rule passes have been within a millimetre of breaching that Villareal backline. It seemed only a matter of time before one did. Thiago with the opening goal. Fabregas giving the champions breathing space now on the stroke of half-time. Rossi has been the closest to a goal for Villareal, but Barca lead deservedly at the break, 2-0.
Yeah, a little bit of luck, they need that. OK, let's head back to the Camp Nou and join our commentary team of Terry Gibson and Kevin Keatings.
Welcome back. Barcelona haven't lost a matchday one home game since 1939. And in all honesty, they don't look like they're going to lose this one. Well, we started already, Terry, all the different views about how you stop this footballing machine. How do Villareal go about coping with this? What's the best policy for them?
Well, I think they've always made the point they have to take a forward step to try and play more football in the attacking half of the pitch. They haven't been able to, on too many occasions, been able to get too many yellow shirts across the halfway line. But it is difficult. I think that we use the words, you need luck. I think that is paramount when you're playing Barcelona. But I'm slightly disappointed with Villareal. Again, we're seeing one of the top teams go away to Barcelona or Real Madrid and not really give a good account of themselves. I hope, particularly this season, with the huge gap we have between the top two and the rest, that those teams, the Villareals, the Valencias, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Athletic Bilbao, really put in a good shift. Take the game, try and take the game to Real Madrid and Barcelona. We haven't seen that tonight, but still plenty of time, just the 2 goals. So it's going to be really difficult for Villareal to get something out of the game. But who knows?
Here's Keita. Sanchez has made a good run there, has to check it now and get back on side. Here is Alexis Sanchez. Helped forward by Thiago. Sanchez is running free here. Chance for the Chilean to make it 3, and does. A goal on his La Liga debut for the big money buy from Udinese. Brilliantly found by Thiago. And they are unrelenting and unforgiving.
And I was guilty, wasn't I, trying to talk up Villareal's chances of getting back into the game in the second half. And I think that's gone now. Sanchez picking up the yellow card for the celebrations. There was a high line, defensive line from Villareal. The ball was just easily played into a space. And Sanchez is going to give himself an opportunity to use his pace, burst away from the defenders. Oriol is the defender. It's not offside. The fullback is not in line with his central defenders. Sanchez gets through. He weighs up his options. Finally decides he's going to go for goal. Gives it the eyes and drives it towards the far post.
Here they come again. Messi with the pass. And Fabregas close to a 4th. Well, these are seriously worrying times for Villareal. They don't take too many hammerings, this team from Spain's eastern coast, but with a long way to go, they're going to have to defend very stoutly here. And try and find some possessions. Marchena slid in there on Keita.
Yep, Keita being Marchena'd. Gonzalo taking offence to something that Cesc Fabregas had done. Not exactly what, I'm not sure what it was. I think Marchena must be testing the referee's patience.
Well, there's no love lost at the moment between Seydou Keita and Carlos Marchena. We're going to see Javier Camuñas coming on for his La Liga debut for Villareal. He did get involved in the Champions League playoff games against Odense. Camuñas, €2 million summer buy from Osasuna to replace Borja Valero. Garrido desperate for more legs in midfield. Camuñas a little more mobile than Valero. Not as good a technician, in all honesty, but just got to try and stop this wave after wave of Barca attacks. Here's Sanchez. Big pitch at the Camp Nou, and Barcelona make use of every inch of it. That great width in their play. Messi. Pedro. Marchena's an accident waiting to happen down there. You just sense it, don't you? Operates on a particularly short fuse, Carlos Marchena. He's a good player. He's won nearly 70 caps for Spain. I won't belittle his ability, but the red mist is rising. Iniesta, it's a great run from Messi. Should be four, is four. And there's that pass again. They cannot deal with it. Iniesta the provider this time. Lionel Messi with the composure. An early marker firmly laid down. Catch us if you can.
It's just far too much for Villareal to contend with in midfield, in defence. You see Rossi there, who's barely had a kick of the ball in the second half. Villareal, yet again, have not got across the halfway line. But there's a hunger and desire about Barcelona, isn't there, to keep scoring goals. And they could keep getting on the score sheet. Iniesta, Fabregas, back to Iniesta. It's just a delight to watch. If you're a neutral, enjoy watching world-class footballers performing at the top of their game. Pass and move. And superb finishing from Lionel Messi.
His 100th home goal for Barcelona. And so many more for that man to enjoy, you suspect.
I think Guardiola particularly enjoyed that, not because it's the fourth goal, the game was wrapped up, but he would have enjoyed watching that passing movement, the movement off the ball, all the things that Barcelona stand for. An absolutely brilliant goal, brilliant football team.
Look at that for attempts. This is a team that is also going to be in the Champions League this season. This is no low La Liga opposition. Barcelona are taking to the cleaners here. The more they win, the more they want. It's like feeding the proverbial hungry animal, isn't it?
That's only my other question about Barcelona since Pep Guardiola has been in charge, since that successful first season. The beginning of each season, I want to see how hungry, how determined, how motivated they are. As you said earlier, some of these players have won World Cups, European Championships with their countries, played matches right throughout the summer. And yet again here we see having a little break this year, most of the players, and they've come back. And I think it's because of Real Madrid, because of Jose Mourinho. The challenge is there year in, year out now. and that keeps these players on their toes. 1 or 2 new signings brought into the club as well. But make no doubt about it, Barcelona are fired up, they're motivated to try and repeat the success they've had in the last 3 seasons.
4-0 up, and they're going to bring Xavi on. And Villareal are also going to supplement their midfield in the shape of Marcos Senna shortly.
I think that's a belated choice from Garrido. I think that should have been done earlier.
Possibly from the start.
Yep.
Hindsight an easy thing, but you think when you come to face this side in this stadium, you need all the experience and quality at your disposal. This is Messi. Diego Lopez almost having to be an extra centre-back, such as the precise movement and passing through the middle of that Villareal defence. Substitutions can be made now. It's Neilmar who's coming off for Marcos Senna. This is damage limitation in the 55th minute from Garrido. He has to stem the tide. Neilmar clearly won't be happy. So a midfielder for a striker. And the man going off is the man that Xavi said about a year ago was the best midfield player in the world. There'll be a few who would say the man coming on shows great modesty and humility towards his teammate, because Xavi is as good as it gets. I was mentioning earlier about the Barcelona squad players that left, the likes of Bojan, Oriol, Romeu, Jeffren, Gabi Milito in the summer. But they've signed 2 more world-class players in Sanchez and Fabregas, both on the score sheet tonight. I have to say, Real Madrid looking good, played well in the Super Cup against Barca, looked fitter, and at times looked the better side in those 2 Super Cup legs. They're up for the challenge, but make no mistake about it, Barcelona will hold their hands out to the club from the capital and say, bring it on.
Good interchange of passing there. Pedro just went too early. Oriol, the left back, almost played him onside.
Alexis Sanchez. There's been wins already this opening La Liga weekend for Real Madrid, Sevilla, Valencia, newly promoted Real Betis. Win 2 for Mallorca. Real Sociedad picked up 3 points. Champions are going to do likewise. All that remains to be seen is the margin of victory.
Still looking to win it back. 4-0 up. Cruise control in terms of in possession of the ball. Out of possession. Keita leading the example there.
Rossi eventually earning the free kick. Pep Guardiola demands a full 90 minutes out of his players. He won't want them to switch off early here. Kenny has been replaced by Wakaso Mubarek, who's a bit of a free spirit and attacking the midfield player. Hails from Ghana. Made a few fleeting first-team appearances last season. He was signed on a free transfer from Elche last January.
Slightly Slightly surprised that Garrido has made all 3 changes with over 30 minutes left. Marchena living on borrowed time in terms of getting on the referee's nerves, I think.
Abidal. Here's Xavi, who has taken the captain's armband, of course, since he came off the bench. Spreads the play gloriously here to Pedro. Relatively comfortable take there for Diego Lopez. Here's Senna. Mubarak's pass a little short, taken on here by Sanchez. Gonzalo Rodriguez in with a timely challenge for Villareal. Here's Mubarak. Rossi. Nobody in the middle here for Villareal. Has to consequently hold up the play. This is Oriol. Thiago. Of course, we talk about the signings of Sanchez and Fabregas to strengthen already super Barcelona squad, but the emergence now, Terry, of Thiago Alcantara as well.
Yep, officially promoted to the first team squad now. Was instrumental in the success of the Spanish under-21s in that successful European Championship campaign. Was probably the outstanding player for Barcelona pre-season. He's continuing that form in the first league game.
Seen as the long-term successor to Xavi, Thiago. Mubarak showing a little bit of strength, but unable to pick out a yellow shirt ahead of him. Don't think there's another side in world football that could play a back 3 tonight, none of whom are natural central defenders, and be beating a Champions League side in Villareal 4-0. It's extraordinary, really. Versatility in the Barca ranks is frightening. Even the pace of Pedro is going to struggle to get there, but he still forced something out of Zapata, and it looked clearly unlikely that he'd do so. It's corner.
There was an intake of breath, wasn't there, in the stadium then when Messi clearly made a bad pass. Most unexpected, but Pedro still chased it down. Just for the fun of it, I was going to spend the next 25 minutes picking fault in Barcelona, trying to find things that they do wrong.
Good luck, Terry.
Yeah, exactly. I might be pretty quiet.
Barcelona's 10th corner. None yet for Villareal. The work rate again. Senna closed down so quickly by Sanchez. Almost a look of resignation on the face there of Marcos Senna. Arrogant look over the shoulder there from Messi at Marchena. Still looking daggers at one another there. Messi away from Gonzalo, clever little pass, and the final one not quite so good from Fabregas, and you're almost surprised when the final ball doesn't find a Barcelona shirt.
It was Xavi, the most advanced player on that occasion, right in the 6-yard box. And you're right, the quality wasn't as we'd expect normally from Barcelona.
Well, no team has ever successfully defended the Champions League, but we must be looking all things being equal. Of course, injuries can kick in. You hesitate to say a loss of form. You can't see these hungry world-class players dipping that much in terms of form. I think it would only take injuries to key players to prevent Barcelona from defending the Champions League. Wonderful at Wembley against Manchester United, who started that final, we recall, so well in the opening 10 minutes or so, and then it's almost as if the Iniestas and Xavis just looked at each other and said, right, let's go to work. And go to work they most certainly did. When have you ever heard Sir Alex Ferguson reflect on his team getting a hiding?
I still think the big clubs, major clubs in European football, okay, the Manchester Uniteds, the Real Madrids, will still be able to convince themselves that this team are not unbeatable.
Well, they want it, Terry.
Yep.
You know, they wouldn't be top professionals on and off the field if they weren't up to the challenge. But it's a challenge with a capital C. It's a free kick against Pedro, barging into Zapata. Valdez out quickly to meet Rossi. And the crowd don't like the challenge. Let's get the referee's verdict. There's a little coming together earlier between Pedro, just a few seconds before that. Pedro and Zapata.
I think the defender's got his eye on the ball. There's contact right across the top of the knee of Pedro, but he's got his eyes firmly on the ball. Albeit it's an accidental collision. But the big teams, they have to come up with a solution to not only stop Barcelona, but to beat them. Some major teams in Europe that invested loads and loads of money. No team in football are unbeatable. We're talking about one of the best teams that we've seen possibly ever. You see Alexis Sanchez there for the third goal for Barcelona. Messi there, the fourth. But there has to be a way of beating these teams. We've seen Jose Mourinho trying different methods to try and stop Barcelona. He's come close on a couple of occasions, beat them in last season's Copa del Rey final.
Pedro off. And David Villa to join the match for the final quarter.
Be looking at Philly's boots, won't he? First game of the season, first league game, replacing Pedro.
A little slip there by Sanchez. Here's Wakaso Mubarak trying to tease one in for Rossi. Thiago. Cut out well by Zapata. Senna. Bruno. And Mubarak a little slow to see the challenge coming. Well, it's not unlike the performance last season when they humiliated Real Madrid here last November 5-0 to go top of the table. They were never headed after that. A season in which Barcelona created a number of club and La Liga records. Most points won away from home in a La Liga season, 46. Most goals, 49. They're on a best run of away games currently, 23 in a row without defeat. 152 goals in all competitions, and starting in ominous form here. Should remind ourselves, Real Madrid went to Zaragoza this weekend and won 6-0. This is Senna. Rossi. Senna onside. Tried to return the ball to Giuseppe Rossi. Might have taken a step or two forward there. Another shot at goal. Marco Senna doesn't normally find himself in that position. Here's Messi. Takes on all comers. Messi!
Gonzalo didn't fancy that one bit. He was backing off to allow his teammate, the younger Musacchio, to come across, make the first challenge, but Messi skipped past him and flashed a shot in goalwards.
Pep Guardiola going to bring Jonathan Dos Santos on. There he is, midfield player. He's the brother of Giovanni. And Cesc Fabregas will depart to a standing ovation. Silky smooth, the former Arsenal captain. And a goal to show for his efforts tonight. Giuseppe Rossi will have to go it alone here. That's a good try, claiming a deflection. It's a goal kick. I have to feel for Rossi tonight. He's worked hard and Garrido hasn't found the game plan to deal with Barcelona in this form.
Nope. Certainly feel for him and Nilmar. With no support from midfield. They've had no service from midfield. I know it's against these normal principles, but I think with two players, you're playing two strikers up front away from home against Barcelona. I think you have to miss out midfield in terms of possession. And you know that they're playing against a makeshift defence, and you've got two outstanding strikers. I think that should have been the game plan tonight from Garrido. Be nice and solid at the back, be nice and solid in midfield, but when you get the opportunity, slide balls in behind. Not just willy-nilly aim it downfield for people to chase, but good quality passing in behind Mascherano, in behind Abidal and Busquets. Get them running back towards their own goal. The rest of the team then can squeeze up. Villareal have barely been in the opposing half. They've barely had players in the opposing half. And I'm really, really disappointed with Villareal tonight. Expected a much tougher examination of Barcelona. It's a great time to play them. Barcelona played Friday night. The players missing, the whole defence missing, and Villareal haven't come here and put up any sort of fight. Really disappointing. And our regular viewers know Villareal are better than this, Kevin.
And we'll see that over the course of the coming season. I don't expect them to get rolled over in any of their Champions League games, despite the fact they're in that tough group I mentioned earlier of Manchester City, Bayern Munich and Napoli. This is a club that's come a long way since making their La Liga debut almost 13 years ago to the day at Real Madrid. They've been in 3 European semi-finals since then. Might surprise you to know that this is only their 13th La Liga season, their 12th in succession. So in overall terms, they're relatively new to the top table of Spanish football, but seen some fine players in that decade or so have come through, and their ranks, very strong ties with South America, Argentina in particular. Remember that really good side that had Riquelme in it that got to the Champions League semi-final? Well, one missed Riquelme penalty from taking Arsenal into extra time in that semi-final second leg at El Madrigal. Here's Sanchez. Keita. Messi, lovely control. Alexis Sanchez. Musacchio with the interception. Out comes the big central defender, showing good balance and Almost got that through to Rossi. Busquets with the interception. Xavi Hernandez. Good challenge to Villareal. It's better defending from Villareal. Barcelona greedily regain possession. Lovely pass from Messi. Back in by Thiago. It's a brilliant fifth. Rich reward for the hungry nature of recycling possession. A 1-2 between Messi and Thiago, and Messi has his 6th goal already of this fledgling season.
I think Messi might be slightly surprised that Thiago could find him there. We could talk about the hunger, the desire for Messi to get on the end of that cross. His movement off the ball. There's only 2 players in the 18-yard box. You see Jonathan Dos Santos involved, Messi out wide to Thiago. Great movements, getting behind Villareal. Delays his pass, Messi runs off for Gonzalo. Diego Lopez tries to get to the cross in front of Lionel Messi. And it's really difficult for Thiago to find Messi, but he does it. Of course, Messi's on the end of the cross. There's no worries about colliding with the goalkeeper. And Thiago has made a huge impact. Last month or two of last season, the first game of this season, how much would they have had to have paid to gone out and buy another midfield player that can do what Thiago does? He's just had an abundance of young talent, haven't they, that come through the academy, the Cantera. Thiago is an outstanding young footballer.
Plenty more to come as well from that B team that finished 3rd, incidentally, in the 2nd division last season, which would have been good enough to contest the playoffs had they been allowed to do so. Of course, you can't have 2 teams from the same club naturally playing in the same division, so the B team will play in the Segunda again. Incidentally, they played Villareal B this weekend. And the scoreline, just for the record, was Barca B 0, Villareal B 2. Very different story amongst the seniors. Here's Sanchez. Deflection on the cross, and Gonzalo defends it well. Messi was poaching.
Barcelona and Real Madrid going head to head, don't we, all last season? Now, Real Madrid won 6-0 yesterday. Barca have got just under 15 minutes to get their 6. Ronaldo gets a hat-trick yesterday. Messi's on 2 now. He'll be searching for his hat-trick.
In by Xavi. Goalkeeper clawing at fresh air there. Had quite a bit of height advantage on Alexis Sanchez. Just misread that one, Lopez.
I've found something I can be critical of, but first of all, let's enjoy this goal. Look at the pace for Messi after he knocks that pass out wide to Thiago. Just darts and flashes past Gonzalo, who can't stay with him, obviously. Lopez can't cut the cross out. Messi very appreciative of the efforts of Thiago. I was just going to be critical, they're not very good at set pieces at Barcelona. They don't pay enough attention to scoring goals from corners.
You're tempted to say they don't need to.
I was going to say, unlike most clubs, don't particularly bother, do they? They score their goals from open play. Looking at the 5 tonight, all from open play.
Many of our viewers were looking at this match, Terry, and said, well, why don't they close down these world-class players? Why don't they get closer to them when they've got possession? Easier said than done, I suspect. I mean, you've been there, you know how difficult it is to play out of possession at times.
But it's impossible now for Villareal to do it. Psychologically, they're beaten. But you have to do it from the opening minutes of the game. They had 2 players up front, Villareal. They had to start defending from the front, but they took a backward step from the first minute, as most clubs do. when they play Barcelona, home or away. Quite content to allow Barcelona far too easy possession. I'm the same opinion as you, Kevin. I think teams should get closer, should be more aggressive within the rules, and not take that backward step from the first minute.
Sanchez. How many passes in this move? May bring some reward yet. It's David Villa! Well, I think they were counting them in the Camp Nou, and it must have been 20 at least.
Villa cuts inside it. Just slightly loses his footing. Doesn't get the shot as accurate as he would like. Sanchez at the back post, nearly got the end of it.
Well, whatever they're paying to watch this, it's a steal. For those players down there in yellow, this must have felt like playing two games. Dos Santos, Sanchez. Lovely movement again, and Thiago just can't quite perfect what was a difficult volley with the ball dropping over his shoulder. But once again, razor-sharp movement.
Probably none of them stand still, do they? There's no real set positions. They rotate. 1 minute you're picking up Thiago, the next minute it could be David Villa, it could be Sanchez. I just feel you'd rather have a go and get beat than just have regrets afterwards and say we went, we sat back, we didn't really have a go at them, and we ended up getting beat 5-0. I just think players in general and supporters of teams in general would prefer their teams to have a go at Barcelona, have a go at Real Madrid, and just sit back and wait to get beat.
Well, do you remember who had a go at them here last season? Newly promoted Hercules. Almost a year ago now, they came here and won 2-0, and it was no fluke. 2 goals from Nelson Valdez, the Paraguayan international. It was a huge upset at the time. They still talk about it down Alicante way. Hercules went on to lose their place in La Liga, but nobody can take away that victory. Came with 2 strikers and got their rewards for an adventurous, bold display.
I think Athletic Bilbao, Kevin, as well, always give a good account of themselves against Barcelona and Real Madrid. Particularly against Barcelona. Joaquin Caparrós had them set up to be aggressive, determined in midfield, organised at the back. Miss out midfield, go straight to Llorente up the front.
Xavi. Beautiful passing again, and Villa almost squeezed it through to Xavi. And there's the press on again, and they can't get out.
It was a good example of what Villareal have done wrong tonight. Bruno did really well to work himself out of trouble in a dangerous area, then gave a 5-yard pass which Barcelona will enjoy pressing against all day long. So Rossi on the halfway line made a little move to go in behind. When the ball was played short, Barcelona won possession. It was a shrug of the shoulders of Rossi. So a lot of this has been self-inflicted by Villareal tonight. But you can't take anything away from Barcelona.
No.
Don't intend to.
And we can talk till we're blue in the face about how you go about it, and maybe you can close down more, be more aggressive. But when they enjoy the amount of possession, these world-class players, that they do home and away, it's almost inevitable that they're going to have the success that they are enjoying. Not the best challenge from Wakaso Mubarak on Mascherano. Yellow card issued.
And this will be an important win for Pep Guardiola and Barcelona. It's a difficult fixture. We missed first week, didn't we? We've got this week, this is their first game. They've got an international break. I'm guessing some of those, Pep Guardiola will be hoping that some of those players with the international break, those injured players, will recover. Of course, Dani Alves will be back from suspension. It was important with Real Madrid getting off to a fly yesterday at Barcelona. Didn't drop any points today. They're not going to do that. And when they return after the break, they'll be a little bit stronger in defensive positions as well.
David Villa takes on Zapata, away by Gonzalo Rodriguez. Barcelona's first game in the Champions League's a tasty one here against AC Milan. A little over 2 weeks' time. The other sides in their group will be shaking in their boots, I suspect. Bate Borisov and the little-known Czech club Victoria Plzeň, who I saw in both of the playoff legs, and they're not that bad actually. But Barcelona, a different proposition to anything they've met before. But it's a great reward for that club there. Going to get the riches that the Champions League 6 group stage matches bring, and to face Barcelona as well. Want to tell the grandchildren this is perhaps the best squad of players we've seen in history. Into the last 5 minutes. Villareal could yet be moving towards their biggest ever away defeat in La Liga. 3 times in the past they've lost 5-0, as recently as last April at the Mestalla against Valencia. Here's Camuñas, hit it well, good save from Victor Valdés. Great concentration there from the Barcelona goalkeeper. He's had so little to do. But across quickly to keep out that well-struck effort from Camuñas.
I think like any goalkeeper, Kevin, is determined to keep a clean sheet. Kept his concentration there, hasn't had anything to do in the second half.
Solid defending by Abidal. Messi. Sanchez. Well, how often does that happen to Villareal? Unbelievable possession stats. Had to happen, didn't it?
He's done well to get to 87 minutes, in all fairness. And for all of it, he's been chipping away in terms of aggression, and he eventually gets booked for a handball. Obviously a good effort from Camuñas. Valdés switched on.
Here's Messi. Sanchez. Well read by Gonzalo. Zapata happy to hear the whistle in his favour there. And moving ball, have to be retaken, but welcome to La Liga for the Colombian defender Christian Zapata. Might have had a slightly easier baptism. Talking of baptisms, got to ask you, Terry, about the debut for Alexis Sanchez.
He looks to be a player that's a perfect fit for Barcelona, doesn't he? In that front three, he looks capable of playing in all 3 positions. 22 years of age. They've paid decent money for him, but 22 years of age. I won't go so far as to say they've got a bargain, but they've got a very good player on their hands. Certainly strengthen the squad. More options for for Pep Guardiola. Relied so heavily, didn't he, in that front three, Messi, Villa, Pedro. Now another one there, as I said, that can play in all those three positions. Tops it off with a goal.
And you look at the way the midfield players have moved forward, often into the centre-forward position. Thiago, Iniesta, Fabregas at different intervals tonight. Of course, Iniesta has played a number of games as a member of that front three, but yeah, it's a chance to rest players at key times who might have been called upon more regularly under Guardiola last season. 90th minute. I said earlier, it's got to feel more like the 190th for Villareal. Abidal, Keita, Xavi, offside against Villa. Referee sensibly allows play to continue. Here's Mubarak, or rather Zapata, who's won the free kick. The referee deciding there will be no added on time. It's another masterclass from Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. They have humiliated a fellow Champions League side in Villareal. 2 goals for Messi, 1 for Alexis and Fabregas, another for the impressive Thiago. A 5-0 rout at the Camp Nou.